Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Have or contain a certain wording or form. What does the law say? Give instructions to or direct somebody to do something with authority. Express a supposition. Let us say that he did not tell the truth. Speak, pronounce, or utter in a certain way. I cannot say, zip wire. Report or maintain. The registrar says that I owe the school money. Express in words. Communicate or express nonverbally. What does this painting say? Indicate. The clock says noon. Recite or repeat a fixed text. State as one's opinion or judgment. Declare. I say let's forget this whole business. The chance to speak. Let him have his say. Utter aloud. Have or contain a certain wording or form. The passage reads as follows. Make sense of a language. Can you read Greek? Obtain data from magnetic tapes or other digital sources. This dictionary can be read by the computer. Indicate a certain reading of gauges and instruments. The gauge read, empty. Interpret something in a certain way. Convey a particular meaning or impression. I read this address as a satire. Be a student of a certain subject. She is reading for the bar exam. Audition for a stage role by reading parts of a role. Interpret something that is written or printed. Read the advertisement. Interpret the significance of, as of palms, tea leaves, intestines, the sky, also of human behavior. She read the sky and predicted rain. Look at, interpret, and say out loud something that is written or printed. The king will read the proclamation at noon. Something that is read. The article was a very good read. To hear and understand. I read you loud and clear. Give instructions to or direct somebody to do something with authority. Issue an injunction. Usually plural, the status or rank or office of a Christian clergyman in an ecclesiastical hierarchy. Assign a rank or rating to. A commercial document used to request someone to supply something in return for payment and providing specifications and quantities. IBM received an order for 100 computers. A group of person living under a religious rule. The Order of Saint Benedict. Give instructions to or direct somebody to do something with authority. She ordered him to do the shopping. Appoint to a clerical posts. Issue commands or orders for. A degree in a continuum of size or quantity. It was on the order of a mile. A condition of regular or proper arrangement. He put his desk in order. A body of rules followed by an assembly. A legally binding command or decision entered on the court record, as if issued by a court or judge. A friend in New Mexico said that the order caused no trouble out there. Arrange thoughts, ideas, temporal events. The act of putting things in a sequential arrangement. There were mistakes in the ordering of items on the list. A formal association of people with similar interests. Men from the fraternal order will staff the soup kitchen today. Logical or comprehensible arrangement of separate elements. We shall consider these questions in the inverse order of their presentation. Bring into conformity with rules or principles or usage. Impose regulations. Architecture. One of original three styles of Greek architecture distinguished by the type of column and entablature used or a style developed from the original three by the Romans. A request for something to be made, supplied, or served. I gave the waiter my order. Biology. Taxonomic group containing one or more families. Bring order to or into. Established customary state, especially of society. Order ruled in the streets. Make a request for something. Order a work stoppage. Often plural, a command given by a superior, e.g., a military or law enforcement officer, that must be obeyed. The British ships dropped anchor and waited for orders from London. Place in a certain order. Order the photos chronologically. Give instructions to or direct somebody to do something with authority. Give evidence. He was telling on all his former colleagues. Narrate or give a detailed account of. Inform positively and with certainty and confidence. I tell you that man is a crook. Express in words. Tell me what is bothering you. A Swiss patriot who lived in the early 14th century and who was renowned for his skill as an archer. According to legend, an Austrian governor compelled him to shoot an apple from his son's head with his crossbow, which he did successfully without mishap. Mark as different. Discern or comprehend. He could tell that she was unhappy. Let something be known. Express a supposition. Take for granted or as a given, suppose beforehand. I presuppose that you have done your work. To believe, especially on uncertain or tentative grounds. Scientists supposed that large dinosaurs lived in swamps. Expect, believe, or suppose. Require as a necessary antecedent or precondition. This step presupposes two prior ones. Provide with a joint. Speak, pronounce, or utter in a certain way. Express or state clearly. Consisting of segments held together by joints. Put into words or an expression. Expressing yourself easily or characterized by clear expressive language. Articulate speech. Unite by forming a joint or joints. The ankle bone articulates with the leg bones to form the ankle bones. Speak, pronounce, or utter in a certain way. Speak, pronounce, or utter in a certain way. Express or state clearly. Speak, pronounce, or utter in a certain way. She pronounces French words in a funny way. Pronounce judgment on. Speak, pronounce, or utter in a certain way. Can the child sound out this complicated word? Try to learn someone's opinions and intentions. I have to sound out the new professor. Report or maintain. He alleged that he was the victim of a crime. Report or maintain. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. indicate through a symbol, formula, etc. The territory occupied by a nation. A politically organized body of people under a single government. The state has elected a new president. Chemistry. The three traditional states of matter are solids, fixed shape and volume, and liquids, fixed volume and shaped by the container, and gases, filling the container. The solid state of water is called ice. The territory occupied by one of the constituent administrative districts of a nation. His state is in the deep south. Put before. The federal department in the United States that sets and maintains foreign policies. Express in words. State your opinion. A state of depression or agitation. He was in such a state you just couldn't reason with him. The group of people comprising the government of a sovereign state. The state has lowered its income tax. The way something is with respect to its main attributes. The current state of knowledge. Serve oneself to, or consume regularly. Undergo, as of injuries and illnesses. Have or possess, either in a concrete or an abstract sense. Have sex with, archaic use. Have ownership or possession of. How many cars does she have? Achieve a point or goal. Go through, mental or physical states or experiences. Have a feeling. Get something. Come into possession of. A person who possesses great material wealth. Organize or be responsible for. Have, throw, or make a party. Undergo. Have as a feature. Cause to be born. Cause to move. Cause to be in a certain position or condition. Cause to do. Cause to act in a specified manner. Receive willingly something given or offered. The only girl who would have him was the miller's daughter. Have a personal or business relationship with someone. Have a postdoc. Have left. I have 2 years left. Suffer from. Be ill with. A prominent attribute or aspect of something. The map showed roads and other features. The principal, full-length film in a program at a movie theater. The feature tonight is Casablanca. Linguistics. A distinctive characteristic of a linguistic unit that serves to distinguish it from other units of the same kind. Have as a feature. This restaurant features the most famous chefs in France. A special or prominent article in a newspaper or magazine. They ran a feature on retirement planning. Wear or display in an ostentatious or proud manner. The characteristic parts of a person's face, eyes and nose and mouth and chin. An expression of pleasure crossed his features. An article of merchandise that is displayed or advertised more than other articles. Express the need or desire for. She requested an extra bed in her room. The verbal act of requesting. A formal message requesting something that is submitted to an authority. Ask. A person, to do something. I requested that she type the entire manuscript. Inquire for information. I requested information from the secretary. Invest at a risk. To believe, especially on uncertain or tentative grounds. Reflect deeply on a subject. Philosophers have speculated on the question of God for thousands of years. Talk over conjecturally, or review in an idle or casual way and with an element of doubt or without sufficient reason to reach a conclusion. Maintain by writing regular records. Maintain a record. Have an exercise. State categorically. Keep in safety and protect from harm, decay, loss, or destruction. Support against an opponent. State or assert. He maintained his innocence. Stick to correctly or closely. Supply with necessities and support. Cause to continue in a certain state, position, or activity, e.g., keep clean. Maintain for use and service. State categorically. Insist on having one's opinions and rights recognized. Women should assert themselves more. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. Postulate positively and assertively. The letter asserts a free society. State categorically. Without qualification. Used informally as, often pejorative, intensifiers. Utter nonsense. Articulate. Either verbally or with a cry, shout, or noise. He uttered a curse. Complete and absolute. Utter seriousness. Express in speech. Express audibly. Utter sounds, not necessarily words. He uttered strange sounds that nobody could understand. Put into circulation. Utter counterfeit currency. Articulate. Either verbally or with a cry, shout, or noise. Express in speech. Be verbose. Convert into a verb. Articulate. Either verbally or with a cry, shout, or noise. Express in speech. This depressed patient does not verbalize. Be verbose. This lawyer verbalizes and is rather tedious. Convert into a verb. Many English nouns have become verbalized. Articulate. Either verbally or with a cry, shout, or noise. Obtain from a substance, as by mechanical action. Italians express coffee rather than filter it. Indicate through a symbol, formula, etc. Can you express this distance in kilometers? Articulate. Either verbally or with a cry, shout, or noise. She expressed her anger. Serve as a means for expressing something. Mail that is distributed by a rapid and efficient system. Rapid transport of goods. Public transport consisting of a fast train or bus that makes only a few scheduled stops. He caught the express to New York. Give expression to. Manifest the effects of a gene or genetic trait. Many of the laboratory animals express the trait. Not tacit or implied. Her express wish. Send by rapid transport or special messenger service. She expressed the letter to Florida. Without unnecessary stops. An express train. Transmit or serve as the medium for transmission. Serve as a means for expressing something. Take something or somebody with oneself somewhere. Go or come after and bring or take back. Transfer to another. Of information, make known, pass on. She conveyed the message to me. Transmit a title or property. An official written record of names or events or transactions. A cash box with an adding machine to register transactions, used in shops to add up the bill. Indicate a certain reading, of gauges and instruments. Record in a public office or in a court of law. Be aware of. Did you register any change when I pressed the button? Have one's name listed as a candidate for several parties. A book in which names and transactions are listed. An air passage, usually in the floor or a wall of a room, for admitting or excluding heated air from the room. A regulator, as a sliding plate, for regulating the flow of air into a furnace or other heating device. Computer science. Memory device that is the part of computer memory that has a specific address and that is used to hold information of a specific kind. Enroll to vote. Register for an election. Enter into someone's consciousness. Did this event register in your parents' minds? Manipulate the registers of an organ. Music. The timbre that is characteristic of a certain range and manner of production of the human voice or of different pipe organ stops or of different musical instruments. Record in writing. Enter into a book of names or events or transactions. Send by registered mail. I'd like to register this letter. Show in one's face. Her surprise did not register. Register electronically. They recorded her singing. Sound recording consisting of a disc with a continuous groove, used to reproduce music by rotating while a phonograph needle tracks in the groove. Indicate a certain reading, of gauges and instruments. A compilation of the known facts regarding something or someone. Al Smith used to say, "Let's look at the record." Be aware of. The sum of recognized accomplishments. The lawyer has a good record. A list of crimes for which an accused person has been previously convicted. He ruled that the criminal record of the defendant could not be disclosed to the court. Make a record of. Set down in permanent form. A document that can serve as legal evidence of a transaction. They could find no record of the purchase. An extreme attainment. The best, or worst, performance ever attested, as in a sport. He tied the Olympic record. Anything, such as a document or a phonograph record or a photograph, providing permanent evidence of or information about past events. The film provided a valuable record of stage techniques. The number of wins versus losses and ties a team has had. At 9-0, they have the best record in their league. Provide evidence for. The blood test showed that he was the father. Pretending that something is the case in order to make a good impression. That ceremony is just for show. Take someone to their seats, as in theaters or auditoriums. The usher showed us to our seats. Indicate a certain reading, of gauges and instruments. The thermometer showed 13 degrees below zero. Indicate a place, direction, person, or thing, either spatially or figuratively. I showed the customer the glove section. Show in, or as in, a picture. Be or become visible or noticeable. His good upbringing really shows. Something intended to communicate a particular impression. A show of impatience. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. She shows her dogs frequently. Give expression to. She showed her disappointment. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. The mathematician showed the validity of the conjecture. A social event involving a public performance or entertainment. They wanted to see some of the shows on Broadway. Finish third or better in a horse or dog race. He bet $2 on number 6 to show. Give evidence of, as of records. The diary shows his distress that evening. Make visible or noticeable. She showed her talent for cooking. The act of publicly exhibiting or entertaining. A remarkable show of skill. Recite in elocution. Render verbally. Recite a poem. Narrate or give a detailed account of. Specify individually. The doctor recited the list of possible side effects of the drug. Repeat aloud from memory. She recited a poem.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.